Miners, and welcome back. Today I'm doing something a little bit special. I'm giving you all a peek behind the curtain, seeing some of the testing and brewing that I do behind the scenes for the channel. And this is content that doesn't necessarily always translate into a full video that you see on this channel. But if you like this kind of stuff, seeing behind the scenes, seeing what goes into me testing brews or testing decks that may or may not appear on the channel later, all of this bonus content is available over on my Patreon. So you can go check that out. It's available if you want to support the channel for as low as $1 a month. Just get access to a bunch of this bonus content. If you really want to support the channel and really like what you see, you can sign up for the premium membership. It also includes one free complimentary deck per month. So if you want to see a particular deck on the channel, whether it's your brew or just something you really want to see me play, that's a great way to be able to do it while supporting the channel and get to see the type of content that you want to see. So today, the first deck I'm going to be showing off is actually one that was submitted by Art Vandal, a PhD. This was a follow-up to their request for some stasis on the channel, and this was another brew that they came up with, which is a Jeskai Stasis deck that is based around using Generous Plunderer as a mana engine to be able to keep stasis around while keeping your opponent locked out of the game. It also has Ral Zarek to be able to untap things as well. So this is just another way to try to make stasis work in the legacy format. Alright, Force of Will, stasis, bunch of lands. We are going to ship this one. I like this much better. The question just becomes is what do we want to chuck here? I think we're gonna get rid of the lightning bolts and hope that our Force of Wills and then our card draw off of Tamiyo is going to be able to get us the rest of the engine that we need. Because we've got half of the combo already with Generous Plunderer. We just need to find a stasis and the room to be able to slam it. Bloodstained Mire from the opponent. Into an Underground Sea. Into a Tamiyo of their own. Okay. So this could be Dimir Tempo. This could be Dimir Reanimator. Could be some brew. I think we're going to hide the fact that we're red, play this Tundra, play our own Tamiyo, and Tamiyo resolves. Okay. The question is going to become who flips their Tamiyo first, or can we get our lock in? Fatal Push on our Tamiyo. I don't like it, but this isn't worth our Force of Will. They get in, make their clue. That's fine. Cracking their Bloodstained Mire already. Are they looking to flip their Tamiyo is the question. Is this a brainstorm? No. Or are they just tapping mana wrong? Okay, it looks like they're just tapping mana wrong. Either that or they thought they were in their second main and they're going to try to Thoughtseize us? No, Netherglyph. Okay, so they're on tempo. I don't really care about the Netherglyph yet. We hit a Wasteland. I don't think denying the mana is going to do much right now, so we're going to play our Flooded Strand, plan on cracking it for our Thundering Falls, see where that goes. Alright, opponent's just getting in, it looks like. We can take two, that's fine. They get another clue off of Tamiyo. So here's the problem, is if we let them do their Tamiyo, they can eventually buy back this Fatal Push. I think that opens us up to a Wasteland, though, is the problem. But we have multiple lands. I think we're going to go ahead and fetch, see what we see off of the Surveil before we make a decision. Grab our Thundering Falls, see what's on top. A Flooded Strand. I still don't think this is worth forcing. We have ways to deal with the Resolve Tamiyo. We are flooding out quite a bit here. They get their Tamiyo. They're just going to tick it up. It's all that they can do. If they don't have any lands... Okay, they do have another land. I was about to say, if they don't have any more lands, we might just start trying to take them off of mana here, especially if we have nothing else to do. I mean, we are just flooding out like crazy here. I think we're just going to blow up their land and pass the turn. Like, I don't like where we're at by any means. We're kind of just flooding out hard. I mean, we've literally only drawn lands this entire game. Into an Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. Sure, ping me. The nice part is they don't really know what we're doing here. They probably just think we're like Jeskai Control or something. Upticking Tamiyo again. Ooh, okay, they're holding back the Bowmasters and the Orc Army, only getting in for two. That's an interesting choice. Into a Ponder, okay. Pass the turn. They did shuffle. We hit a Brainstorm that we can't really do anything with yet. Let's just keep attacking their mana at the moment until we find something we can realistically do here. We did grow, or they did grow their Tarmogoyf. We might be in a position where we might just have to emergency brainstorm and eat our poison here, but especially because of the fact that this Tameo is going to ultimate next turn. And if they can get in... Ooh, they're not attacking at all. Okay. I think we're going to see what we draw here. We draw an Enlightened Tutor, but they're about to ultimate their Tameo. Yeah, I think this one's over. We just flooded out way too hard. We will see what we can do sideboard-wise for this. We got a bunch of stuff here. Pyroblasts and Disruptor Flutes. We can bring in a Fair Mirror. We probably want to take out the Force of Wills here. And then I think we probably take out one Tidal Bore. It's cute that it works, but there's a lot of times that I've just felt like Tidal Bore isn't what I want to be seeing here, and it's more often than not pitch fodder to Force of Will. The Disruptor Flutes are kind of a whatever. I'm expecting... They probably have Wastelands of their own. They look like they're pure Dimir. But it does shut down Tameo, which is a way that they can just win the game outright. So I think we're going to try something like that. Alright, let's not flood out this time. Okay, we have a Stasis, we have a Ponder. We are going to keep this. Again, we have half of the combo, but we actually have some card draw this time. And we're not relying on a Tameo that can just get Fatal Pushed. We also have a Daze to stop whatever their turn 1 play is. Alright, put them all into 6. We are going to start off on a basic and Ponder. The good old Bosch and Roll, Island Ponder Keep. Daze, Tameo. I think we want the Tameo, but we're going to bury it one. And then we will fetch away the second Daze. Because if they, like, Thoughtseize us, I don't want to lose Tameo. And then we can slam Tameo and have double Daze to protect her. Okay, opponent is imitating us, except they have a Tameo of their own. I don't think I want to Daze that yet. Maybe there's a world where I should have, but I really want to use my Dazes to protect my own stuff. And then we'll pass the turn. Polluted Delta from the opponent. Okay. Tameo's getting in. We're getting some Tameo on Tameo violence here. They're fetching with Polluted Delta. Okay. Do they have a Fatal Push? Are they going to try to kill our Tameo? I think I'm willing to double Daze here if that's the case. Okay. I think they thought they were in second main phase again. We're going to get some Tameo on Tameo violence here. Send a message. Opponent is going to Ponder. Okay, this is card number 2. Did not shuffle. If they go for another card draw spell, we will Daze this one so that they don't flip their Tameo. Force of Will pitching a Daze. We will go grab our Thundering Falls to set up our next draw, and then Daze the Ponder again. We will keep Pyroblast on top, and then we will Daze the Ponder. And if they have another Daze, they pitched one to this Force of Will. Alright, they don't get to flip their Tameo. I'm going to play the Volcanic so they have Pyroblast up. We're going to get in with our Tameo, and guess what, opponent? We're actually going to damage you with ours, because you can't block. Haha. Alright. We are very much relying on this Pyroblast doing something, though. Polluted Delta. Get another clue stacked up here. And no immediate crack. Okay, that's fine. We hit a Disruptor Flute. We will play our island. We will get in with our Tameo. I feel like they're telegraphing a Bowmaster pretty hard here, trying to get us to crack ours. And then we'll pass the turn. There's something to be said about flashing in our Disruptor Flute right now, naming Bowmasters, but there's a good chance they probably just flash the Bowmasters in response, so we're going to wait. Like, it doesn't actually end up accomplishing anything, because there's going to be multiple Bowmasters, or they're going to have a Bowmaster in play either way. Surveil land and kept whatever it was on top. Okay. 2 blue. Cracking a clue. Okay. So they wanted whatever it was, and drew it immediately. If this is like a Murktide region, we have an answer for it. They seem to be flooding out, potentially. Polluted Delta, cracking it. Into a basic swamp. They are going to Thoughtseize here. Do I want to make Bowmasters cost more? I think I do. We're going to flash this in, see what they do in response, see if they suss out that we're going to name Bowmasters. No, they did not. Well, we're going to name Orcish Bowmasters, make it so that they can't cast that. They're probably going to take the Pyroblast. We might trip them up with the Stasis here, and they might take that instead, but we'll see. Oh, they did take the Stasis. Okay, well, they know about the Pyroblast, so they can try playing around that. I'm assuming this is a... No, not a Murktide? Baragorth? Harbinger of the Seas. Okay. So that shuts off our red mana, I think, entirely. I don't remember if there's a basic mountain in this deck or not. We will start out by cracking a clue, hit a Tundra, we'll play a Thundering Falls. They can flip their Tamiyo next turn, and we can't. Yeah, I'm just confirming. There are no basic mountains in this. Islands are the only basics. If they have nothing else to do, they get to flip a Tamiyo first, which it looks like that's what they're doing. Play to land, cracking their other clue. Okay, so they get to flip Tamiyo. They do get the first Tamiyo. I literally don't think I have any way to deal with this Harbinger, because we have no white mana to be able to play Teferi. Like, I think we just got hard got by Harbinger of the Seas here. Into another Flooded Strand. We will get in with Tamiyo. More Tamiyo and Tamiyo Violence, because why not? And then we're going to flip Tamiyo, and then we're probably going to scoop, because I legit don't think we have any way out of this. Yeah, especially if we're just drawing lands. Into another Pyroblast. Yeah, this one's just over. We literally don't have any way to get back into this. Like, looking at the deck itself, there are literally no bounce spells. There's no basic red sources here. No basic white sources. Like, this is why... Like, I understand why Tidal Bore is in the deck, but I prefer that to just be, like, a normal bounce spell. And Flood Pit Drowner, it puts a stun counter. It doesn't get rid of abilities. Like, I guess there's a world where we could theoretically draw into the Flood Pits Drowner and, like, surprise Ambush Viper the Harbinger, but I don't think it's going to happen, and it literally has to be this next draw, or we're just dead. Yep, uptick in the Tamiyo. I honestly think they might attack our Tamiyo here. I don't know. Yeah, they're attacking our Tamiyo. Not that that really matters, because they're about to draw half of their deck. It would literally need to be Flood Pits Drowner within these next two draws, and then for them to literally have nothing. Go ahead, Thoughtseize me. See all of my red cards that I can't cast. Alright, take the Lightning Bolt. There is a Stasis. I think we gotta draw a card here. Like I said, this has to be Flood Pits Drowner or a way to find it or we're dead. Another Tamiyo. That doesn't do anything. I mean, I can uptick Tamiyo. Play another Tamiyo. And yeah, I just don't think there's any way we get back into this, because they uptick this, and then they're just going to downtick it on their next turn. And then they're going to have Force of Wills and stuff to be able to stop a surprise Flood Pits Drowner. So I don't think we have a way out of this, unfortunately. Good old Harbinger of the Flood Moon. I mean, granted, if they don't have a way to deal with our Tamiyo, we might be able to ultimate our Tamiyo as well, but we'll just have to see what happens here. There's a Brainstorm. Let's uptick here. And then I guess we're going to see if they've been sandbagging a Bowmaster that they want to pay a ton of mana for. And it looks like they do. Like, this wasn't really something we could realistically play around. It's just going to be a question of what do they go after here. Now we can't even ultimate our own Tamiyo. Otherwise we just die to it. But they're just going to hit it down. So that's fine-ish, I guess. And none of this matters. Yeah, we just got by Flood Moon. If they hadn't shut off all of our lands, or if we had a basic mountain, we could be back in this. But, oh well. On to the next one. Okay, we got Force of Will, we got Brainstorm, we got a Flip Tamiyo turn 2, and we got Lightning Bolt. I think we can keep this one. Polluted Delta from the opponent. Into a basic island. Into a Brainstorm. Okay. So Brainstorm will also let us shuffle away this Thundering Falls, hopefully. At the very least, put it back in the deck for a few turns. Tundra. I think we're going to start off with the Volcanic Island. And just play a Tamiyo. That resolves. Pass the turn. This also gives us untapped mana to be able to Brainstorm and hold up a Lightning Bolt. Volcanic from the opponent. Okay. Roiling Dragonstorm. Interesting. Draw 2, discard, and then you can bounce it. Okay, it's just a card draw spell at this point. Pseudo Looter. This is like giving off combo vibes. Like, my combo alarm is going off, because I have a feeling they're gonna have a way to bounce this, but they chucked a Wasteland, so maybe this is just like a Delver strategy. Rel Zarek. We will get into start, get our clue, then we will play Tundra, and we will Brainstorm holding up red for Lightning Bolt. All of this stuff here, Unfortunately, we didn't hit any additional lands. Enlightened Tutor is a shuffle if we think we need that. I think we just put back Ral and Generous Plunderer for now. We will flip our Tamiyo. We can uptick Tamiyo. We will draw Ral next turn. Or we'll draw Generous Plunderer next turn, and then we can Surveil and base what we want to do off of that. And we can chuck Teferi if we absolutely need to. We could also upkeep Enlightened Tutor to guarantee that we go get, whatchamacallit? Stasis? Sprite Dragon. Okay. So this is like an interesting Delver style deck. We can let them get in with the Sprite Dragon, but it's just going to have 0 power, and if they fire something off to try to grow it, we can Lightning Bolt it in response. And we might just fire off one of these bolts end step, try to get them to spend a counter or something, and then we can untap bolt it again. Alright, not getting in. There is a Ponder. That is fine. Do I want to force them? No, we'll let them make their decision from here, then we'll bolt it. I was going to say, we can bolt it before they get to look at what they're doing, but I don't want them to have a better informed decision here. Alright, they seem to pass the turn from here. We are going to go ahead and try to bolt the dragon. If they want to protect this, that's a counter out of hand. I can untap bolt. Okay, they're going to daze it. So the question is do they have another thing to be able to protect it? So the other thing we could do here, we're going to uptick this to start. So what we could do is we could play Generous Plunderer this turn, get it down, trust that Force of Will plus Teferi can get us where we need to go. They attack out, upkeep, we Enlighten Tutor to go grab Stasis and then play Stasis. I don't hate that. That's trying to do the thing with the deck. We can keep Ral on top. We don't actually care about that. And we are going to play Generous Plunderer. If this gets countered, it kind of screws up our plan here, but... Alright, we already upticked Tamiyo. That resolved. We know one of the cards in their hand is a land. And we basically just want to do everything possible to protect this Generous Plunderer and then go for it next turn. And if they tap out trying to deal with this Generous Plunderer, I will be very happy about that. Playing a different land from hand, so we know they still have a land in hand. Pondering, okay, so they're just growing their Sprite Dragon, which I'm actually kind of okay with that. If they just go after Tamiyo, that's just a distraction. I'm not super concerned about that. And I would love for them to just tap out with a bunch of cantrips or something. They did not shuffle. Okay. Alright, moving to combat. And they are going after the Tamiyo. Vapor Snag targeting our Generous Plunderer. Well, we have to try to counter this, because we need that Generous Plunderer to stick around. I am not convinced this is going to resolve. Alright, it did not. They Force of Will pitching a Roiling Dragonstorm. Tamiyo goes to 1, but they are starting to run out of resources here. So we can kind of just try to do what we did here and just run it back again. Unfortunately, we're drawing this Ral we didn't actually want. And then we will just replay this. Hope it makes it around the table again. And that Tamiyo is enough of a distraction for this Dragon Sprite. We actually probably could have tapped that differently now that I think about it. I don't know why I was wanting to hold up Lightning Bolt. We could have held it up so that we end of turn Enlighten Tutor, but oh well. I don't like red mana. Okay, I mean, I've still got outs. That is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world yet. And Tamiyo's down. Like, we have outs to be able to get out of this. It's just not looking very good. Like, we do have Teferi to be able to get rid of this. We have more combo pieces we can find. Is this a Murktide Regent? It looks like it. Yes, it is a Murktide Regent. And a big one at that. So, I'm not sure we have a way out of this with one draw. Double Lightning Bolt doesn't kill anything. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. This deck does seem like it has a very, very hard time up against tempo decks. That being said, Pyroblasts in, Blue Blasts in, Force of Will's out, and honestly, we're taking the Tidal Bores out. I've been again, I understand why this is in the deck, but I have not been thrilled with it, so let's try something like that. Alright, let's see here. Well, we got the full combo here, so we're gonna keep this. It is just a matter of, do we want to start out with Thundering Falls or do we want to start out with Island Ponder? I think because Thundering Falls enters tapped, we're going to start out with that because there's no guarantee we're going to get untapped red source off of this Ponder. Opponent mulligan to 5. Okay. Player Thundering Falls. Another Ponder. I'll keep that. Ship the turn. Scalding Tarn from the opponent. Cracking the Tarn. Into a Volcanic Island. Into a Brainstorm. Okay. Mishra's a Bubble. Okay, so they're going to get to see our Ponder. You can see our Ponder, that's fine. We both draw. We will play an island. We will play a Ponder. Blue Blast, Lightning Bolt, Scalding Tarn. Put back the bolts. Put back the Tarn. We will grab the Blue Blast and ship the turn. This allows us to try to fight over like a Sprite Dragon or something, and then guarantees a land drop for next turn. Meanwhile, we can also hold up a Lightning Bolt to try to kill a Sprite Dragon. Another Brainstorm for the opponent, so they're just sculpting their hand. I would like to find some more protection for Generous Plunderer before we try to go for it. Ooh, opponent is mana screwed. I like that quite a bit. So we have Scalding Tarn. I actually want to go ahead and grab another Volcanic here, because we know we didn't want the next card that was down anyways. And then Hydroblast, we'll put Wasteland, Daze on top. We will keep the Daze. We will plan on just Wastelanding them next turn. And then we will try to go for it the turn after that. Because we know they're not drawing lands here. Okay, now they might be able to off of this Ponder. We could have Dazed the Ponder if we wanted to, but I'm trying to keep that as protection. Did not shuffle. Okay, they finally hit another land. And they're passing the turn. Okay. We will draw our Wasteland. We will take out their Volcanic Island. And I think we're going to go ahead and slam our Generous Plunderer here, set up to try to go for the lock next turn. We can pay for a Daze. We can Red Blast or Daze a Bolt. Hydro Blast. I think we will Daze this. Nahiri, hey. Hush, baby. We can pay for a Daze back. If they force a will, they're down 2 cards. And that, Nahiri, you're fine. We already played our land, so we can pass the turn. We can Blue Blast a Bolt. Did they find another land? Yes. Okay, they're finding their lands. Roiling Dragonstorm. Okay. They are tapped out, so this is our shot. If we can resolve this stasis, we're golden. They discarded a Hydroblast and a Roiling Dragonstorm. Or no, they discarded a Roiling Dragonstorm. We will get our treasure, yes. We will let them get a tapped treasure. And we have a Hydroblast that doesn't really do what we want it to here. But we're going to try to slam Stasis here. And hope that they don't have a Force of Will. We can pay for a Daze. We don't care about that. And Stasis resolves. Okay. We will pass the turn. We do not want to attack with Generous Plunderer until they have enough treasures for us to be able to kill them with. Or we hit a second one. And like I said, we can Hydroblast or Blue Blast a removal spell on the Generous Plunderer. And it looks like they're just passing the turn, which is good for us. And they pass the turn. Put the Stasis trigger on the bottom so that we get our treasure first. We will get a treasure. You get a tap treasure. And then we will crack our newly created treasure for blue to keep Stasis around. And we hit a Flooded Strand. I like that quite a bit. We will play our Flooded Strand, and we will ship the turn. And we're amassing stuff to be able to pay for Dazes. Are they going to try to Red Blast our Stasis? Yes. We are going to Hydroblast their Pyroblast. And we're going to go ahead and do it with the treasure, because that's replaceable. Wrong color. Ooh, they have a Force of Will. Okay. Well, that sucks. Actually, I'm dumb. Well, no. Yes, no. I should have Blue Blast that. I just realized that. I don't know what I was thinking there, but it's fine. We'll get there. They've only got 3 cards. Looks like a Murktide Regent, which we have Red Blast to be able to deal with that. Sprite Dragon. Okay, we have ways to kill that, no problem. You can bounce your Roiling Dragonstorm. That's totally fine. Not getting in. Alright, now they're doing something. Are they casting their Roiling Dragonstorm? Or is this a Murktide Regent? No, this is Roiling Dragonstorm. We are going to go ahead and bolt the dragon. We can pay for a Daze. I don't think we want to give our opponent mana at this point now. So I don't think we're going to give them... I mean, granted, their whole deck is so low on mana anyways. I don't think it actually really matters here. We'll give them a treasure just to progress our own mana. Into a Daze. That's not really doing anything anyways. Like I said, their whole deck basically functions on 2 mana, so like giving them extra treasures isn't really going to do much of anything. Runescale Stormbrew. That's spicy. So they're like, is it dragons? That's a cool little brew. This also increases our clock with Generous Plunderer, so... Yep, you can ponder, that's fine. Did not shuffle off of that one. Like, worst thing that can happen here is if they happen to have a Murktide region, and seeing as they're like, is it dragons? I'm sure they do. 3 mana for a Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Okay, well, we can kill that, so I'm not super concerned. We actually probably should have dazed that. I don't remember if Unearth is an ability or a cost, and it goes on the stack. I think we're just going to go ahead and bolt that now. Just get it out of the way. And now we have incentive to not give them treasures. So I think I'm going to say no this time. I don't want them being able to get that Dragon Engine back. Into a Tamiyo. We can play that. That's another win con. Get in with the Plunderer. They can play their Dragonstorm again if they want to. I'm not super concerned about that. They're also out of Volcanic Island, so they need to have basics from here on out, or like Wastelands or something. Is this the Dragonstorm? Yes, this is the Dragonstorm again. That's fine. There's something to be said. Whatever they play next, we might daze it just to pick up the Thundering Falls to be able to play it again to kind of try to smooth out our curve a bit. Or smooth out our draws. Chuck the Force of Will. Okay, so they don't think they're going to be in a counter game here. Oh, they're so deep they've got Steam Vents. Okay. Ooh, and they're shocking themselves for it. Okay. Red mana. Lightning Bolt on Generous Plunderer. I think we are going to counter that to keep our Plunderer around. I keep tapping the wrong mana. Counter target red spell. Tap the right color mana. We can easily pay for days if they have another force that's 2 more cards out of their hand. Red mana. Pyroblast. Okay, then we will daze the Lightning Bolt. Pick up our Thundering Falls so that we can replay it. We can pay for days. It has to be force blue card. Alright, won that exchange. Opponent's just like, Okay, one of their last cards was a Mishra's Bauble, so they can see what we're drawing. That's fine. We are about to have a card draw engine online. I think we're back at the point that I don't particularly care about them getting treasures. Like, they're at 4 mana now. Like, they have more than enough mana to do anything that they want. Drew another Tamiyo. We will play a Thundering Falls. Ponder is an above average draw. Get in with everything. Get a little extra damage in. Because this will allow us to flip Tamiyo next turn between the Clue token and the Ponder. We could also grab the Ponder now, crack it, play it, see what we hit, but I think we're going to wait until next turn. And we can emergency fetch draw as well if we need to. So they know the one card in our hand is a Tamiyo. Brainstorm, okay. Alright, showing paying cost, so I think this is a Murktide Regent. It is indeed a Murktide Regent, which is mostly fine. They can replay their Dragonstorm. They're going to go after the Generous Plunderer. Yeah, I think that's fine. We don't need to emergency try to save it. That's whatever. And then, yeah, we'll just draw our Ponder. They're tapped out now. Get our Ponder. We will start by playing Ponder. Enlightened Tutor, Counterbalance, Tundra. Counterbalance is interesting, but I don't think I want any of it. We're going to any order and shuffle. We draw land. We can get in with Tamiyo to create a clue. Get our clue. Then we will flip Tamiyo at instant speed. We drew an Enlightened Tutor. Okay. We can tick up Tamiyo. Play a land. Play another Tamiyo back on blocking duty. And then we will pass the turn. Wasteland is kind of whatever. We're kind of beyond the point of that mattering. Roiling Dragonstorm. Unfortunately, we do not have any red blasts in the yard to be able to get back with this Tamiyo. Chuck the Misty Rainforest. Okay. Alright, is opponent getting in here? Yes. Okay. So I think what we want to do here is we will block here. Try to lock their stuff down for a moment if we can. Because we will Enlighten Tutor, go grab... Well, we'll see what they got here. What is this? 3 mana. 4 mana. Okay, that's fine. So what we are going to do here then is we are going to go ahead and we know there's a Rolling Dragonstorm in hand. Hopefully they don't have a counter here. We are going to go grab a Tundra. We are going to Enlighten Tutor to go grab Stasis. And then we are going to draw said Stasis to hopefully lock this down for a few turns until we can ultimate our Tameo. We have a Hydroblast. Okay. Spread out our stuff here. We're going to go ahead and Stasis. Hopefully that last card is not a Force of Will. It is not. We can tick up Tameo. And we realistically only need to survive one more turn. So we can go ahead and blow... Well, hits for 1. This goes down to 4, or down to 5, up to 7. Then we can ultimate it. Yeah, I think we can wait. This should buy us enough turns to be able to ultimate Tameo. Wasteland from the opponent. Okay. While annoying, not the end of the world. We'll just blow our Hydroblast to kill this thing, since we're going to lose the land anyways. I want them to do this pre-combat is the thing. If they do this pre-combat, we only go down 1 land, but it doesn't look like they are. Okay. Is going after Tameo, but it's only hitting for 1, so it doesn't change the clock in terms of how quickly we can ultimate Tameo. And now they're doing this, so we might as well do this. Blow up your Storm Scale, just get it out of here. Now we pay for this. Draw our card. I want to hit a land here. It's another Tameo. We will uptick this Tameo. The next turn, we can let Stasis go and just ultimate Tameo. Or we can pay for one more turn, ultimate Tameo, and go from there. Another Wasteland. Okay, so I guess we're losing the Stasis regardless. Yep, that's fine. We will ultimate Tameo. Can't pay for it. Get our draw. And now we are going to go ahead and draw half of our deck. So casual 17 cards here. Do we have any more red sources? Yes, we do. So we are going to play our red source. We are going to destroy your Murktide Regent. I'm really bad about tapping the right color mana for stuff. And then we'll pass the turn and hope that half of our deck can get us there. Our opponent is also very much at risk of timing out here. They're down to almost 5 minutes left on the clock. Roiling Dragonstorm, that's fine. We did take out our forces, so we're kind of shields down this turn. We have 1 white source left to be able to play Teferi. Into a Sprite Dragon, that's fine. We can kill that, no problem. Yep, taking out our Thundering Falls, that's fine. Not even getting in with the Sprite Dragon, okay. I mean, that is a choice the opponent can make. Let's see what we drew. We drew a Brainstorm. We will go ahead and drop Teferi now. Then we could do that, but we're just going to uptick Teferi here. They can't do anything at instant speed. We can go ahead and kill the Sprite Dragon, and then pass the turn. Roiling Dragonstorm, they're still digging. That's fine. Our Daze is now live. Discarded a Runescale Stormbrood. I'm curious if they have any fetchables left in the deck. They are cracking their Misty, so either they have a fetchable. Okay, they had basic, so they still do have fetchables. I do have double Daze here if I need it. Another Sprite Dragon. That is fine. I don't actually care about that. They can't kill this with it, so... Alright, now they're getting into Teferi. That's fine. Teferi can take 1. I'm not concerned about that. We untap. Draw Flooded Strand. I think we are just going to tick up Teferi, play a Wasteland, take them off of another mana, and I will play a Generous Plunderer. We got some mana going on here. Nope, decide against it. Can't do anything on my turn, opponent. And ship the turn. I can flash in the Flood Pits Drowner pre-combat to stun this. Roiling Dragonstorm, that's fine. I'm just going to tap it down when we go to begin combat anyways. They're 100% timing out, though. Like, there's no way we're going to have a game 3 in under 2 minutes. Chuck the Roiling Dragonstorm. They are Pyroblasting, targeting Teferi. Well, we'll let that resolve. Do I have any more Blue Blasts that I can hit this with? No. Okay. So we are going to Daze number 1. They pay for that. Okay. They pay for the first one. Daze number 2. Then we move to begin combat. We will flash in Flood Pit Drowner. They can't do anything at instant speed here, so they can't counter this or anything. Tap down the Sprite Dragon so it can't attack. And we get the GGs from the opponents. And with a minute left, I don't think we're going to do a game 3 here. I mean, technically we are. We'll run it back. Alright, opponent scooped up in sideboard, and it had less than a minute left, so win on the board. Play any of the decks you see on this channel with a Mana Traders rental subscription. With a variety of tiers to fit any budget, Mana Traders lets you play whatever you want in whatever format you want. Use code DasSourKraut at checkout and become a better player today. The second deck I'm going to show off today is a brew I have been working on. It is based around United Battlefront from Tarkir Dragonstorm. The thought of this deck is to kind of emulate the old Sun and Moon deck in Legacy and create a Boros prison deck that looks to basically just lock your opponent out of the game and then slowly win via Planeswalker activations, with United Battlefront having the restriction that all of my payoffs need to be non-creature, non-land permanents, a mana value 3 or less. The brewing of this deck has been quite difficult, but I really want to try to make it work, and I wanted to highlight some of this brewing and what went into trying to make this deck list work. So basically, I've got a whole bunch of different kind of locks in the deck with Ensnaring Bridge and Gideon, 9 Lives, Solemnity, Blood Moons, Chalices. Just lock the opponent out of the game, slam down a Rowan to slowly tick up and kill the opponent. And I hope you enjoy me trying to make this crazy little card work out in the Legacy format. Alright, what do we have here? Unfortunately, we don't really have enough mana to do anything, so I think we're going to ship this one. Okay. I can throw 9 lives under Chromox to be able to get down Solemnity and try to find another 9 lives, or I could throw Blood Moon under it to get Rowan. I think we're going to keep this, put Rowan back for now, and probably just try to get Solemnity down right off of the bat. Polluted Delta from the opponent. Into an island, into a Nile Spellbomb. Okay. That's a pretty sweet island, not gonna lie. I like the little Phyrexian signs there. Also very dark. I almost thought that was a swamp at first. Okay, so we hit a land, so that'll allow us to United Battlefront next turn. So I think we're just gonna try to get Solemnity down. Throw 9 lives under here. Try to just get down Solemnity right now, and then next turn we're gonna try to United Battlefront. Unfortunately, they can see the whole lock right here by doing this, but we can kind of oops into it with United Battlefront if that resolves next turn. Okay, that was good enough for a Force of Will pitching a Brainstorm. Okay. They're down to 3 cards now. So hopefully they're out of counter magic and we get to just resolve this United Battlefront. They do have a Brainstorm, so they could be refueling counter magic here. As of right now, this Blood Moon is not looking very good. Into a mountain. So are they trying to do, like, is it Wizards stuff over there? I know that's been popping up a lot lately. Okay. This Lotus Petal lets us play around a daze at least. And this Blood Moon is looking really bad if they're just going to be playing on basics. And what do we hit here? We hit a Rowan and we hit an Ensnaring Bridge. Or we hit a Rowan and a Lotus Petal? I think we want... We could also Chromox to pitch this Blood Moon, but I think we just want Rowan and Ensnaring Bridge to protect it. So those two do this. We will uptick Rowan to do 1 damage to the opponent. This is a very slow win con, but this is our win con. I also just realized how low Rowan's loyalty is. Starting loyalty of 2. Bloodstained Mire from the opponent. She very easily could die to a lightning bolt at some point, assuming we don't get to our turn. Alright, opponent's cracking their Bloodstained Mire. Getting an Underground Sea. Okay, so Blood Moon might not be as bad as I thought. And opponent is Culligan commanding to get rid of Ensnaring Bridge and our Blood Moon. Okay. That's fine-ish for now. I've got more Ensnaring Bridges. That's not a huge problem. There's a Touch the Spirit Realm. Well, we are going to go ahead and tick up Rowan. And we will ship the turn. Like, I was looking through potential win cons and, like, trying to keep it to a Planeswalker mana value of 3 or less was extremely difficult to find something that would actually win the game. I kind of narrowed it down to either Rowan or one of the 3-mana Chandras, and this was just the most consistent to be able to actually deal damage. Sheoldred's Edicts, and this doesn't let me bounce a Planeswalker, so okay. And luckily the opponent doesn't really have much going on over there either. We hit a plains, we'll just play it, pass the turn. Hopefully we can find some more United Battlefronts. Thinking that maybe I should change this to like an actual Oblivion Ring or something. The reason I chose Touch the Spirit Realm was for the channel ability, but we'll see. Okay, there's a Fable. We can try to play this, see if this resolves. We also can bounce it with the Touch the Spirit Realm. Alright, opponent's cracking their Nile Spellbomb to draw a card. It looks like they're looking for a counter. And it looks like they found it. Yep. Force Will, Pitch and Ponder. Okay. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job of keeping our opponent super low on resources, which is exactly where we want to be up against a control deck. Into a Tamiyo. Okay. We can always blink the Tamiyo in response to it flipping also. There's a Blood Moon, but we don't have any red mana, so we'll just pass the turn. Into an Orcish Bowmasters. We could always kill that. I'm not concerned. We also don't really draw many cards. Alright, get in with everything. That's fine. Get a clue. Like, we could also just, like, blink one of the Bowmasters. Or we could just play Touch the Spirit Realm, get rid of something here. I feel like Tamiyo is honestly the scariest thing here because I don't want it to flip. There's a Lotus Petal. This is 6 mana. So I think we're going to try to bait out counter magic with this Blood Moon. That resolved, and then I don't like it, but we're gonna try to take out the Tamiyo here. Because I'm more scared of the Tamiyo flipping than these. We have ways to deal with creatures. So I just don't want the Tamiyo to flip. They could brainstorm in response and flip it. Alright, we were able to snag the Tamiyo, shut off their black mana at least. Now we just need to find a way to deal with this. Or they just have a Brazen Borrower to get Tamiyo back. Okay. Do they have a land to be able to flip the Tamiyo? Crack and a Clue. Okay. Did they find a cantrip to flip the Tamiyo? They did. Okay. Well, we can at least take out the Bowmaster then. And they found another land. Okay, take up the Tamiyo, pass the turn. A Solemnity. Well, I think we go toward being able to get our lockdown. Because if we can hit a 9 lives, then they can't kill us anymore. Hopefully they've only got one Brazen Borrower. And depending on what they do, even if they try to Brazen Borrower this, we could theoretically bounce it with Touch the Spirit Realm. Go to 7. Opponent's pondering. Did not shuffle. Crack and a Clue. Okay. Playing a Raucous Theater as a mount. Lightning Bolt. Do they have another Lightning Bolt? They're buying back Lightning Bolt. Alright, it is basically 9 lives or bust here. That is a Touch the Spirit Realm. Well, no, because if I bounce this, it just comes back and kills us anyways. So, yeah, okay. We can go on to the next one. I was about to say we could try to bounce some stuff, but this is just going to come back and ping us anyways, so it doesn't actually accomplish anything. Moving into the sideboard, I think we want temporary lockdowns. They seem very low to the ground. We could bring in some more removal in the form of Perilous Snare. Blood Moons didn't seem particularly relevant, so let's take some of those out. And let's trim... I think we're going to trim one Chalice of the Void. I found as I was kind of testing this out a little bit, I forgot that it nombos with Solemnity, because you can't put counters on it. So, like, you can cast it for X's, whatever, but then it gets no counters. So, okay. I don't hate this. We can keep it. The temporary lockdown is nice if they try to go wide. We can just wipe everything up. So we'll play Plains into Lotus Petal. Next turn, we can try to slam 9 lives. And then hopefully that eats a counter spell to be able to try to resolve temporary lockdown when they go wide. Or they're just going to discard us. Yep, there's a Thoughtseize. What do they care about here? Took the 9 lives. Okay. Do they have Surgical Extraction? That was a weird pause. Another Touch the Spirit Realm. We'll play Plateau and pass. Polluted Delta. And they pass the turn, so this is Screaming Orcish Bowmasters. And a Solemnity. Okay. We will take the damage to try to get Solemnity down. I'm okay with this. Okay, that resolved. Like I said, this is Screaming Bowmaster, so I would not be surprised to see a fetch and slam a Bowmasters here, but they know we have a handful of removal. So that might be interesting. It also means that if they do a Bowmasters, their Orc army just instantly dies because it can't come in with any counters and it's a 0/0. Alright, they did not slam an Orcish Bowmasters. We can also save this Solemnity if we need to. We can just channel and Touch the Spirit Realm, bounce it. An opponent appears to be passing. Alright, they just pass the turn without doing anything. We can play a land. I mean, we can play the Straw Go Game too. Like I said, if they try to bounce this, we can just blink it with Touch the Spirit Realm. Bloodstained Mire from the opponent. 2 mana for a Snapcaster Mage. Okay. I mean, it's whatever. Like, they'll take the temporary lockdown. I don't actually care about that at the moment. Oh, they took one of the Touch the Spirit Realms. Okay. Alright, an opponent's passing the turn. We gotta find a way to deal with the Snapcaster Mage. Well, that's a way to deal with it. I guess we're gonna put them to the test and see if they've got a counterspell. Just slam a Gideon. We will uptick it on the Snapcaster Mage. We did see Volcanic Island from the opponent. Okay. Culligan's Command, discard a card and deal 2. Okay, I guess we'll discard this temporary lockdown for now. Do they have a lightning bolt to follow this up to kill Gideon? If so, they had to spend 2 cards just to kill Gideon. I'm actually kind of okay with that. That's also not a lightning bolt going to face. Okay, yeah. 2 cards to deal with Gideon. That's actually kind of okay. Into a Chrome Mox. I don't think I care about this Snapcaster Mage yet. We can just pass the turn. Alright, get in with Snappy. If they just pass the turn, they do have Hardcast Force of Will up. And it looks like that might be what they're doing here. An Ancient Tomb. I think we'll just pass the turn for now. I'd like to get to a point where I can try to double spell. Try to bait out a counter spell on this Touch the Spirit Realm, and then play something that matters. Get in with Snappy. Play the Mysterized Village. Another Solemnity. Okay. We'll just bide our time for a little bit here. And opponents getting in with Snappy again. They are finally ahead on life total. Fable of Zemir Breaker. I think we are going to try to bait a removal or a counterspell out with this. Opponent's brainstorming. Okay. Is this going to resolve, or did you find a counterspell? That resolved. We will take Snappy. Consigned a memory. Okay. Well, we will play Chrome Mox. Bin Solemnity under it. And we will attempt to get down a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Do you have a counter for this as well? Unfortunately, okay, no. They realized it doesn't do anything with Solemnity on the battlefield, so I was kind of hoping I could juke them out of a counter here. But, yeah, I think I need to go back to deck building here a little bit. Like, there's a bunch of weird little nombos in the deck because of Solemnity. And the timing in which you do stuff is very important. Just playing a Nimble Obstructionist, okay. Like, I feel like there could be something here. I'm just not sure what. Like, I really wish White Plume Adventurer was still legal, because that would be perfect in this deck. And yeah, we're just dead on board. Okay, well, on to the next one, I guess. Alright, won the die roll. Let's go. So this is a turn 1 Ensnaring Bridge or a turn 2 Blood Moon. I think we're just going to play Plateau and pass and see from there. See which of these is a better option. Alright. Opponent kept on 7 as well. We'll play a Plateau and pass. And like I said, we will see what they do before we decide if we think we need Ensnaring Bridge or Blood Moon. Windswept Heath. That makes me think they might be like a Mavericky style deck. Into a Savannah. Into a Noble Hierarch. Okay. So I think we are going to go ahead and just slam a Blood Moon. Ooh. United Battlefront. I like that quite a bit. We could just United Battlefront here. But based off of what I'm seeing here, this looks like it might be Maverick. Granted, they have their colors with this Noble Hierarch. But we can work our way up to this United Battlefront. I think we're just going to slam a Blood Moon here. At least restrict their mana a little bit. Because I can't always play United Battlefront next turn if I get something to throw under this Chrome Mox. Another mountain for the opponent. Scythecat Cub. Okay. So Ensnaring Bridge actually is going to be relevant here. And we will absolutely slam it if we don't draw anything worth putting under this Chrome Mox. So we will play an Ensnaring Bridge. Their creatures are very quickly going to get out of range of being able to attack with this Ensnaring Bridge in play. They also can't pull, like, fetch land shenanigans here. Like, they could have crop rotation. That's definitely something that could happen. We also can just run this Chrome Mox out bare just to get it out of our hand to get under the Ensnaring Bridge. Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay. That's a way to deal with an Ensnaring Bridge for right now. Well, we're kind of relying pretty heavy on this United Battlefront here. Getting in for 5. We will draw. We hit a Rowan. We are going to go ahead and start with United Battlefront, and then if we need to, a bunch of Chalice of the Voids, a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and a Solemnity. Like, we could slam the Solemnity, but then the Fable doesn't do anything. So I think we want Fable and Chrome Mox, as weird as that seems. We are not going to bother throwing anything under the Chrome Mox for now. I mostly want the Fable for the looting purposes. So is this like actual Naya Landfall? Like, they're actively tapping red mana. Or is this going to be a Green Sun Zenith for something? It looks like a Green Sun. For what? What would they hit it for? They could find Nadu? No, undoing this. Repaying mana. Green Sun X equals 3. This could be a Nadu, this could be a Ramanap Excavator. What other random 3-drop would they have? Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. And they can get in. That's mostly fine. I don't really care about that. We'll take our hit for 6. We need some good loot. Solemnity is interesting. We will do this. Yes. I don't think we want Rowan or the Chrome Mox right now. Touch the Spirit Realm. So if we touch the Spirit Realm, we can get back our Ensnaring Bridge. So I think we do want to get in here because we need the mana to be able to do everything here that we want to do. So we'll get in, get our treasure token, and then this Fable is going to be forever locked on 2. Oh, they're just letting us get in. Okay. We will cast this. Take this out. We have to pay Ward 2, but we have the mana for that. We get our Ensnaring Bridge back. They can't attack anymore. I played my land for turn. Okay, we'll pass. I forgot that I had Ward 2. I was thinking that we'd just get rid of it and then we'd be able to slam Solemnity, but that is not the case. I forgot that I had Ward 2. Collector, oof. Okay. I mean, that's totally fine. And they can't do anything. They could start... Well, no, because these are all mountains. Never mind. They can't even start getting rid of those to go find basics at the moment. Another Solemnity. We will play Ancient Tomb. We will play Solemnity. We will play Solemnity. And we will ship the turn. And then we will have 6 and let our opponent do their thing. Scrib Ranger. So this is... They don't have any forests, so they can't even activate Scrib Ranger. And we are at a point where we will always be able to empty our hand. Alright, opponent shipping the turn. Well, there's a 9 lives. We have the full-on damage lock in place now. And we will have 6 again. Is this another Green Sun Zenith? It looks like it. Another Green Sun for 3, that's fine. I almost wonder if they should just Green Sun for 1 to get more mana dorks, to get more colors of mana. I mean, they could always just have overpaid to go grab another Noble Hierarch or something. Like, that's always a possibility. Keen-Eyed Curator. I mean, they can eat shit out of the graveyard, but we don't care about that. We will play the Ancient Tomb and ship the turn. And I can make chump blockers if they ever decide to get in with this Noble Hierarch. Swords to Plowshares. Okay. And we hit another Blood Moon. I mean, might as well cast it, right? Like, just keep our hand empty, keep layering up protection of various sorts, keep F6ing through the turns. A Mountain from the opponent. A Mother of Runes. I mean, that's fine. They can get in an attack, but they can't do any damage. That is a Rowan. That actually is a win con. But it kind of gets kept in check by this, but they need more of those to be able to actually do anything. Because, like, they can give this pro-red, but it's only ever going to hit for 1 unless they get another Noble Hierarch down. I mean, if Rowan dies, Rowan dies. I think I have them pretty well locked out of the game at the moment. Okay, Swords to Plowshares, that's fine. A Lotus Petal. Play Petal. It doesn't do anything. Uptick Rowan. And like I said, until they get another Hierarch on the battlefield, like, it's just going to keep going up and down by 1. Another Mount from the opponent. I would like to find another Ensnaring Bridge, because I'm sure they have more than just one Sheltered by Ghosts. They are getting in a Rowan. Okay. Another Plains. Take up Rowan. Ship the turn. Just a casual 25-turn clock. Ship the turn. Like I said, I'd like to find a United Battlefront, another Ensnaring Bridge. I'm sure they're going to eventually find another Sheltered by Ghosts. And if they ever do, then the floodgates open and I'm in trouble. Well, I guess not really, because I still have the Solemnity 9 lives, so I actually take that back. And we keep going. I'm sure they also have to have at least one basic in this deck somewhere. They're still just going after Rowan. A City of Traders. Uptick Rowan. Ship the turn. I mean, this is working. They're tapping mana like this is a Sheltered by Ghosts. It is. What are they going after? Are they going after the Ensnaring Bridge so that they can attack Rowan down? No, yeah, they're going after the ensnaring bridge so that they can attack Rowan down. That's fine. Like, they only have two more, and they need to find both of them before I find another Solemnity. Oh, they're just eating stuff. Okay, I was about to say, what the hell are they doing targeting the graveyard? They're just eating stuff to grow Keen-Eye Curator. That's fine. They will get a bunch of life, but they just want to make this Keen-Eye Curator as big as possible. Okay. Is all of this a face? Yes. I don't think they understand how this combo works. But whatever. You can attack wherever you want. I understand this is not a combo you see every day. They also don't gain any life, because the damage is prevented. Cast a Lotus Petal. This is probably the last time I'm going to get to tick up Rowan. Ship the turn. Another Mother of Runes. That's fine. Are they going to swing at Rowan this time? Yes, they're finally taking out Rowan. That's fine. And they're still attacking me for some reason. I mean, you can if you want to, opponent. That's fine, I guess. A Touch the Spirit Realm. I can get all of this shit back if I get rid of that. Sure. I have way more than enough mana to be able to pay. I mean, we're just gonna do that. Like, they can give it pro white or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. We mostly just want it out of our hand. Like, go ahead and give it pro white. Okay, they didn't even bother. Alright. I think opponent might just have no idea what's going on and is just kind of clicking through stuff because they don't know what the plan here is. Yeah, they're still just getting in. Another City Traders. Shift the turn. Our opponent is very much at risk of timing out here. Like, we will deck out before them, but we'll also find Gideons before they do anything. Like, they need to take out these two Solemnities with their last two Sheltered by Ghost before I find another Solemnity. Again, this looks like Sheltered by Ghost mana. Yep, what are they going after? Did they finally learn they need to start taking out these Solemnities? They probably also have one Outland Liberator in the deck. Nope, going after the Ensnaring Bridge again. Okay. Opponent apparently does not realize what's going on here with the Solemnity 9 lives. Okay, get in. We hit another Rowan, which, I mean, we'll cast. Like, we literally just want to empty our hand is basically all this comes down to. Like, we don't really care about anything else. Looks like another Zenith for something, maybe. Dumping a ton of mana into it this time. X equals 5. And opponent finally sees what's going on and scoops it up. Okay. So, against what our opponent is doing here, I think we want to bring in just, like, all of the removal. Probably take out the Chalice of the Voids. And maybe we'll trim one Rowan. 2 Rowans. Like, clearly our goal against this opponent is just to lock them out. We're not actively going to win this game, so let's try something like that. Alright, so I've got double temporary lockdown, ensnaring bridge, lotus petal, a bunch of stuff. I think we can keep this. There's a little bit of an combo here with temporary lockdown, lotus petal, and chrome mox, but opponent is mulliganing to 5 already. Kept on 5. Basic force. Okay, they learned to play around the blood moon. Got it. A united Battlefront. I can actually do that on turn 1, so I think I'm going to. Came here to Battlefront. We are going to Battlefront. We will put a temporary lockdown under here. And we will go ahead and cast our United Battlefronts. We hit a Solemnity. Oh, we have the full fucking lock already. Okay, 9 lives. Solemnity. Throw those on the battlefield. Let's go. And I have a backup Solemnity. Alright, opponent did not have a Force of Vigor. So, chip the turn. A Wasteland. Scythecat Cub. Okay, that's fine. We don't really care about that. We are going to go ahead and... just because of the fact that there's a possibility for them to have... whatchamacallit here? A, Force of Vigor effect of some sort. I think I'm going to sandbag this second Solemnity and drop it after they've dealt with the first one. Assuming they've even figured out that's what did them in the first time. We can't do anything, so we can F6 through the turn. It's also funny because Solemnity shuts down Scythecat Cub from getting counters. I think they're trying to figure out why their Scythecat Cub did not get counters. Like, that is the Brewer's advantage, is nobody knows what the fuck you're doing. Bend a Mother of Runes. Go ahead and get an opponent. Okay, they've learned that they are not going to be able to do anything to us here. We're going to go ahead and tap mana to play a Plains, and then we are just going to go ahead and ship the turn. Like I said, I want to sandbag this Solemnity, because I don't want to give a Force of Vigor 2 targets. Yep, that is precisely why I sandbagged the Solemnity, so I can play another one. Or I could just temporary lockdown, wipe up their board. We'll see what we draw. This looks like Green Sun for 2. What are you grabbing, opponent? Keen-Eyed Curator. Okay. Well, I can wipe that up. I think I will take a turn off just to go ahead and wipe the board up here. Or I can do a United Battlefront, which I think is better here. And what can we grab here? There's another 9 lives. There's a Blood Moon. We don't have Solemnity down yet. So I think we're grabbing Blood Moon for sure. And then I could Fable. I could Perilous Snare. I could touch the Spirit Realm. Whoa, do I want to remove any of this stuff here? I think I want to hang on to this to get rid of stuff like, whatchamacallit. So I think we're going to grab Fable. We're going to grab these. I'm going to hold on to the removal in the deck. So if they find anything to be able to kill or remove stuff like a Perilous Snare or Shelter by Ghost, I have a way to get rid of it. Congratulations, opponent. You can finally get some counters on this. I will let you get in. That's fine. I'll get a couple counters. Another Solemnity. I'm not going to use this ability. And we're just going to play a Solemnity. And then we are going to go ahead and get in. And opponent scoops it up once we have the backup Solemnity. Okay! Theory proven. Let's go. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.